Yes, children. Now I'm going to send you a video on how we run our villages, part 1. We have already done this chapter in the class. So, and I've already sent you a video on how we run our towns and cities. Now, this is on how we run our villages. I will divide the video into two parts. The first part I'm sending today, and the second part I will be sending in a few days. Now, communities both urban and rural. Urban means relating to the towns and cities, and rural means relating to the villages. So both communities, both urban and rural, they require public utilities. What are public utilities? The public facilities such as water supply, electricity, roads, educational institutions, and healthcare facilities. So whether you stay in a village, whether you stay in a town or a city or a big metropolitan city, everyone requires these public facilities. Now these days the villages also, they've got electricity, isn't it? So now for every community, whether it is urban or rural, we require these public facilities. These are our basic necessities. These are called civic amenities. Amenities means a useful or desirable feature of a place. Amenity means a useful or desirable feature of a place. The responsibility of managing and controlling civic amenities lies with the government. So the whole thing comes from the government to us. The government is responsible for providing these civic amenities to us. The people of every village, town, and city, they elect representatives to govern their community. So they have to elect their representatives who will govern their community. Whether you belong to town, village, or city, you have your own modes and means, and you have to elect your representatives who will govern your community. In other words, people themselves govern their community through their representatives, because the representatives, they are elected by them. So in a way, they are governing their own community and through their representatives. This system is therefore called local self-government. In India, the local self-government body for a rural area is called a panchayat. For a rural area, this local self-government body is called a panchayat. Now, what are the advantages of local self-government? Now, in any village or town, it is the local people and their representatives who are in the best position to understand their problems. It is the representatives who are in the best position to understand the problems of the local people, because they are from amongst the people. So they are able to solve them more effectively, because it is a part of their life too, and they understand the problems of the people, so they are able to solve them more effectively. The experience of solving their problem makes the local people self-reliant and responsible. The experience of solving their problem makes the local people self-reliant. Self-reliant means dependence, to have dependence on, or trust in something. Dependence on, self-reliance means dependence on or trust in something. This enables them to act responsibly during emergencies. So these people, they act very responsibly, the representatives, during emergencies. For example, during a cyclone or flood, they can start rescue and relief work before help arrives from the state or central government, because the people have elected their representatives. They are the head, they are heading them. So these people, they act very responsibly, and before the help arrives from the central and state government, they start their own work. Local self-government reduces the work of the central and state government by taking care of civic amenities at the local level. So the work of the center and the state government is reduced. Why? Because the local self-government is taking charge of the people at the local level. The meaning of cyclone is a violent tropical storm. Cyclone means a violent tropical storm, and all of you know what is a flood: when there's excessive water. In ancient India, now the Panchayati Raj. In ancient India, villagers managed their affairs through a body which was called the Panchayats. So they managed their affairs through a body which was called the Panchayat in ancient India in the olden days. The term Panchayat comes from the word Panch, which was used for the 5 village elders who settled disputes and took decisions. Now, the word Panchayat comes from the word Panch. It stands for the 5 village elders who were elected, of course, by the people. And these village elders, they settled disputes. Disputes are fights, arguments amongst the people, and they only took the decisions also. What was right or wrong for the people who were called over there, who were held guilty. Today, all local self-government bodies for rural areas, they are called panchayats, and they are formed as per fixed rules. For ease of administration, ease of administration means for making the administration easy, the states in India, they are divided into districts. The districts are further divided into blocks. Now, for ease of administration means for making the administration easy, the states in India, they are divided into districts, and the districts are further divided into blocks, each of which has a number of villages under it. Every block has a number of villages under it. Panchayat exists at all these three levels. The panchayat is there at all the three levels. This system of local self-government at three levels is called the Panchayati Raj. So this is the Panchayati Raj at three levels. This system of local self-government at three levels is called the Panchayati Raj. In this system, the village has a Gram Panchayat, a block has a Block Samiti, and which is also called the Panchayat Samiti, and a district has a Zilla Parishad. So you have to remember the three levels of the Panchayati Raj. In this system, the village has the Gram Panchayat, and the block has the Block Samiti, and the district has the Zilla Parishad. Now, how are panchayats formed? So this was the Panchayati Raj at three levels, the local self-government. Now, how are the panchayats formed? The panchayats at the three levels are formed by members who are elected by the people. These members of the panchayat are elected by the people. And for panchayat elections, the area under the panchayat is divided into smaller areas called constituencies or wards. Now, for panchayat elections, these areas which are under the panchayat, the area under the panchayat is divided into constituencies or wards. The members are elected for a term of 5 years. Some seats are reserved. Now, all the members of the panchayat, they are elected for a term of 5 years, and some seats are reserved for women, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes. Apart from elected members, now these are the elected members, local MLAs and MPs. MLAs are, the term MLA stands for Member of Legislative Assembly, and MP means Member of the Parliament. So apart from elected members, local MLAs and MPs become members of the block samitis and Zilla Parishads. All right. Also, all the heads of the Gram Panchayats of a block become members of the Block Samiti. Similarly, all the heads of the Block Samitis of a district, they become members of the Zilla Parishad. Alright, so apart from the elected members, local MLAs and MPs. MLAs, I told you, member of Legislative Assembly. MP means member of Parliament. They also become members of the Block Samiti and the Zilla Parishads. Block Samitis and Zilla Parishad, come under the Panchayati Raj. So MLAs and MPs, they also become their members. Also, all the heads of the Gram Panchayats of a block, they become members of the Block Samiti. Similarly, all the heads of the Block Samiti of a district, they become members of the Zilla Parishad. These members are called ex officio members, as they become members because of the office or the post they hold. That is why they are called ex officio members. The state government has a representative in all the panchayats. The state government has its own representative in all the panchayats. It appoints a panchayat secretary to the Gram Panchayat. Okay. Now the state government, because it has a representatives in all the panchayats, so it appoints a panchayat of a secretary to the Gram Panchayat, and the block development officer, who's called the BDO, is the government's representative in the block samiti, and an officer of the rank of a district magistrate DM is appointed to the Zilla Parishad. These officers ensure the proper functioning of the panchayats. Okay, so these officers are appointed by the state government. So children, now this is how the panchayats were formed. We have done what is the Panchayati Raj. We have done the advantages of local self-government and what is local self-government. And I've already done in the class. So boys who have missed the class, they just go through the video and you will understand the chapter well. The remaining part I will be sending in a few days. And please revise the work which we have done. Okay, bye-bye and stay safe, children.